Feels like love, Cupid made a shot.
Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe. So today I thought we would do some cute little Mayflowers. We're going to do a pretty simple design using just some 3D charms that I got, some 3D flowers in. So I got some flowers in from Temu, AliExpress. I think that's really it. So I thought I would do that. So today I'm just going to do some Gel X. I'm just going to prep my nail. I do recommend that you buff out your nail a little bit. You want to rough up your surface. And then I'm also going to go ahead and prime inside of my nails. I'm just using a Francois primer. I believe that's what it's called. It's just a regular primer. I do find it works pretty well for inside of like for the Gel X method. I do like to prime it instead of buffing it. It just chemically etches it. You do have to do something in there. So either chemically etch it or buff it with a buffer. So I'm also going to use a peel base. I like to be able to wear my nails but pop my nails off, if that makes sense. Honestly, I am not a fan of soaking off my nails. It takes forever. But don't get me wrong, never just pull off your nails if you have to soak them off. You have to soak them off. So I like to do this little method. Now, you can do this method in two different ways. I do have a video up. I'll try to pop that up or I'll leave it in the description on how to do a pop-off method. If you want them to pop off very easily, then I would recommend doing 2 coats of your peel base. If you want them to wear them out for at least a week or two, only do 1 thin layer. And then you can also get them to kind of pop off in a sense. You do have to use a little bit of a debonder with that, but it still pops them off so easily. There's no file, no nothing. So I'm sorry for that. We're just going to go in, and I did cure them on there with my Melody Susie 2-in-1 lamp. I absolutely love that little lamp. She's my go-to guy. It is cordless and you just touch the top of it. Perfect. So I'm just going to kind of shape out my nails. I do like to just take a regular hand file and get in there and get my edges and then just crisp up anything. And now is the time for that. But for the top of my nails, I do like to buff them. So I'm just going to take a buffer and go over all of my nails, get rid of that shine. It is crucial to get rid of the shine. We want our gel polish to be able to stick to something. So I am going to go ahead and use a few different brands in here. I think I got the Gary's and Madame Glam. Just to do like this little design. Now, I don't know what it is, but I have been absolutely loving having every single one of my fingernails a different color. I don't know what it is about it, but it's bringing me legit so much joy that the last few times that I've done it, I've just been in love. So I literally have done it on my right hand. I did it on my left hand. I'm just enjoying it. It's so fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and I do put a base coat down. Sorry, I do apologize. I like to put a base coat down as well. That is our glue. It'll help your polish stick to our nail. So I also do recommend doing that. But I am just going to go ahead and paint each one of my fingers a different color. I know you heard me correctly, but it's so fun. I promise you'll love it. Try it. If you've never tried it, legit try it. You'll smile all day just seeing just this beautifulness. How could you be in a gloomy mood when you have every different color on your nails? It literally brings you just so much joy, in my opinion. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint each of my nails 2 coats, and then I'm going to give it a top coat. I'm actually going to work with my crystals over a top coat, and I was kind of testing out this method to see how it would work, if the glue would even stick. But to be honest, like I just took these off and nothing fell off of these. Well, besides 2 flowers, but I don't recommend going to your mom's house over the weekend, helping her put up a pool and do all this gardening and all this other stuff, because that might pop off a couple of your 3D flowers when you see them. So maybe don't do that with these type of nails. But to be honest, they actually held up extremely well. So I want to show you what glue I'm going to use for that. We'll just go ahead and we'll paint the rest of our nails, and then we'll jump into the nail art side of things. Alright guys, let's jump into the 3D flower part of this video. So I'm going to use a whole whack of these little 3D flowers and I'm going to adhere them with the LGM Pro glue. Now to be honest, out of all the glue I've tried over the last few years getting into nails and nail art, and I'm a big bling type of girl, I know you haven't seen a lot of it from me recently, but even the very beginning, like, I like to put some bling on my nails. So I used to use polygel because I wanted a thicker glue and something for my pointed backs to stick into and that. So I found a lot of the real rhinestone glues that are made for rhinestones just never work that well. They're so very thin and they're okay for flat backs, don't get me wrong, but I want something that my charm is going to stick into so it actually holds, and the first time you ding it, meaning like hit your hand, they're not going to fly off, right? There's nothing worse than putting all that time and energy into it and then in 2 seconds later, one's already flopped off your freaking finger. I hate that. Honestly, it annoys my life. But this glue, legit, like, I'm so impressed. I am so impressed with this glue. I recommend trying it out for yourself. It is a thicker glue, which I so much prefer and I believe is needed for rhinestones. You want your stuff, or even charms like this, sorry, you want your stuff to be able to sit in it so it can almost hug all the way around the charm, and then that way they're not going to fly off. So I kind of put my glue in the same pattern I would want my charms to go down. I'm just going to keep calling these charms, I guess, but we see them. They're little 3D flowers. What would you call that? Just 3D flowers or charms? It's kind of like a charm vibe. I don't know. I'm going to call them charms because that's the word I'm using for the day, apparently. But the little 3D flower guys, I'm going to set them in that. Now, what I like to do, I was saying, is kind of get whatever design you want. Put that pattern in your glue. So I just like to get an old liner brush, and then that way I can kind of draw out the same pattern I would want in my glue, and it kind of just gives me that little bit of a layout. Now, another good tip with trying to do clusters or just trying to get your design of whatever charms or anything like that that you want for your nail, if you see this little, like, I don't know, it's actually like a little chalkboard or something. I got it from Dollar Tree. It's just a little board or frame, I guess you would call it, but I just got a couple of them from the Dollar Tree to use as little plates, and I like to be able to plan out my design. I think it is so crucial if you plan out whatever your design is first on a palette or something like that. You want something that you can move around with you. I don't recommend just putting it on your table. It'll be a lot harder, so put it on something that you can move off your table if needed, or move it around. So that's why I like these little things from the dollar store. It's like a little board. It works perfect. So I like to get my charms in the same design I would want to put them on my nail. Now, this works great. Sometimes you might not be able to get the full design. Like on a lot of my fingers, I can get my full design that I created on the board on my thumb, but I can't create that on all my other nails, and I did realize that a little bit during the process of it. So you will also see me grab a few other charms just to modify my design a little bit, but I also, at this stage, like, I already know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to take forever. I kind of put things where I already placed them on the board. It's kind of like pre-designing what you're going to do with your nails. It just, in my opinion, makes it so much easier. So for this, I used the little flowers from AliExpress, the little tiny blue, I don't know what they're called, little flowers, like the roses and that are from AliExpress, the leaves are from AliExpress, but the little other blue and orange ones to complement it is from Temu. So I'll make sure I have the links for everything down there. And yeah, because I didn't create these. Now, if you use acrylic, you could be able to probably create your own. If you use like the 3D, you could probably create your own. Oh, even molds, there's a good way to create your own. But in all truth, I would just rather not. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a great way to go. I like to buy them already pre-made for me, and I just plop them on and they look incredible in my opinion. And then for the clusters, you just kind of can, like, again, if you play with it on a little board or a little palette, it's so much easier to see what you can and can't do instead of trying to do it on your nail and taking stuff on and off your nail. At this point, it's going to be sticky, right? We already have our glue down. We don't need to see things. Nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. I think you should take things off if it doesn't fit. For example, I found these specific leaves that I had. They're pink and they just didn't really complement that purple as much. Now, when I was playing with it on the palette, I have some very light pink leaves that I was going to put with my pink on my pink nail, but I actually decided to go with a darker pink on the pink with the pink, I guess that makes sense, and then put the lighter with the purple because there is a little bit of white in that purple. So I just found that that actually worked out a little bit better for me. Now, again, this is where I realized I can't create exactly the same design I did on my thumb. So I'm going to get smaller flowers and make a little bit of a modification to it, so that way it'll still kind of give me the same flow, but I already kind of still know what I'm doing. So it was actually, it just made it really easy. So there I was just showing you the little leaf. I don't know, I made this little thing full of leaves. I don't know, I bought a whole whack of different color leaves off of AliExpress, and I just put them in their own individual little container, and I think it'll be just so convenient to grab leaves when I want it now. And trust, you'll see in a haul coming up, I ordered a whole whack of them to make this little leaf box, but I'm absolutely loving the way that they all came out and the way that they're organized. So that's all I'm gonna do, guys. I'm just gonna keep putting down all the little flowers, and I'm also here, so this is a good thing. So what I'm doing here with this brush is I'm using this brush as a cleanup brush, and I'm actually going to clean up before I cure any of this. I want to make sure that there's no glue seeping out, nothing like that. So I'm doing all this over an already top coated nail. So I am not going to be top coating this nail after. I'm not going to be filling this in with top coat around these. That's the beauty of this glue. This glue dries tack free. So I really wanted to see how it would hold up on an already finished nail, basically already a top coated nail. And when I tell you, it held up beautifully. I was so impressed. Like I said, none of these fell off. None of the little like darker, like say here the darker purple ones, none of them fell off at all. A couple, like 2 roses actually fell off, but again, I legitimately was doing like a whole whack of outside work that I probably shouldn't have been doing. So putting up a whole pool, helping my mom create a fountain, there was a lot going on that I probably shouldn't have done with all these crazy 3D nails, but I was so impressed the way that they held up, guys. Like, oh my god, this glue is magnificent for bigger charms. I'm just loving it. Don't get me wrong, it's great for little ones as well. This is great for charms as well. She did really well in creating this glue. I'm so thoroughly impressed. I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm just going to continue putting our design. I wanted the same design on all of our nails, and all I've done is tried to match the flowers as best I could to the nail color. I don't know, I love it. It literally brought me so much joy. So let's just finish up these nails, and then a little bit more we'll jump into. I'm gonna create, or not really create, sorry, add a little bit of bling in this design as well.
Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now. 아주 멋쟁이 넌 하루 종일 세상 혼자 사는 듯이 그래. 도도한테 또가 날 더 미치게 만들어. Meet me up near the riverside. We can push everything aside. Make stars align. Let's just collide. Yeah, yeah. Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now. Let me take you on a map.
So guys, here I'm going to use a little flash cure light. Now a flash cure light is perfectly good to go in quickly and flash cure it so nothing moves on you when you're ready for that. And again, a quick note too, if you're not comfortable to do a whole design like I did without curing in between, you can cure in between. Like that is definitely an option. I would recommend putting your big flowers down first and then go in with your littler flowers. But this glue really makes it easy. It's very thick, so it doesn't move as easy as some other glue. So it was actually quite easy to do that. Okay, so quickly I want to come in, and I got some pointed back, very, very tiny rhinestones out, and I put them in the middle of these little flowers, and I just love it. It just gives it like a smidge of bling. I've seen it done with caviar beads and all that type of stuff, but I don't know, I just love the bling. If you have a little bling to do it, why not? But the pointed back works perfectly because it actually sits right into the little flower. Now for the littler little flowers on here, I found these very tiny like micro beads, but they're like very tiny crystals, and they're like, I don't know, they're like translucent, so they kind of are gonna pick up the little bit of color also from whatever it's on. I just think it looks so cute. Again, this is a great time to look in your nail art stash, find the stuff, try to use what we have, but I absolutely love the way it turned out. It just added a little pizzazz to the little flowers and just a little bling, right? Oh, I think it's so cute. This is the final product. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Would you rock these? I absolutely love them, and don't get me wrong, they definitely will get caught in your hair, but they're $5, so worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.